last week when only 15% of registered Republicans showed up. The New Hampshire turnout settles some GOP fears of low enthusiasm. Joining us now, Maura Gillespie, Blue Stack Strategies founder and principal. She's also former advisor to Speaker John Boehner and former Congressman Adam Kinzinger. Maura, great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
So what are your takeaways from the primary in the great state of New Hampshire?
It was good to see more people turning out than Iowa. Obviously, it's a different kind of setup. People in Iowa have to stick around longer, and whereas if you're going to a polling place, you can just come in, vote, and go. But I do think that Nikki Haley surprised some folks and did better than people may have expected. I also thought that the president's speech last night was, again, I think she's really getting under his skin, and you can tell by lamenting the fact that she had, gotten on stage and he made mention of it several times about how she acted like she had won. And I think for Nikki Haley, it was a win. She did better than people expected. So definitely an interesting dynamic there.
Maura, do you see a path forward for Nikki Haley through South Carolina and beyond?
It's going to be hard if there's a continued lack of people showing up for primary votes. I mean, historically, our country has not really shown up to vote in the primary, and especially the Republican Party. This lack of enthusiasm that you're seeing is concerning to me, and it does hurt someone like a Nikki Haley, because we know that Donald Trump's base of supporters is super loyal to him, and so they will show up and maybe brave the elements to support him. But across the country and across the political spectrum, people don't tend to participate in the primary elections. And I think it's a disservice to our democracy as a whole, because we're really not giving ourselves every chance to participate.
So you can hardly blame, I was going to say, you can hardly blame folks for not turning out when it's 25 below.
Sure, right there.
Right. Different.
So, Maura, as someone who used to work in the building behind us, what about concerns down ballot if it's Trump v. Biden 2.0 and enthusiasm or lack thereof?
It's a real concern for especially the Senate, House members as well, but for those senators who are up for re-election, it's going to be a real concern for them. Again, this lack of participation in our democracy, our electoral process, it hurts them. And, it also hurts them in the fundraising department. Donald Trump said in Iowa, and he's talked about it kind of every stump speech he's given, talking about his legal bills and all the money that he needs from his supporters, not for the campaign, but for his defense, for his legal battles he's up against. And on the contrary, Joe Biden isn't really opposed. I mean, Dean Phillips did put, some numbers up there in New Hampshire, but it's not obviously going to really amount to anything. But he's able to fundraise, put all that money towards his campaign, whereas Donald Trump cannot. He's not going. He's already told his voters that he's not going to do that. He's putting it towards his bills.
Do you think his New Hampshire victory sets him up for a new slate of endorsements on Capitol Hill this week?
Perhaps, but I think for a lot of people, the endorsements don't really amount to much. It doesn't matter about who shows up to vote. So these members can endorse all they want if it makes them feel like they're going to get to stay in their jobs. But again, it really doesn't matter about that. It matters about getting people energized out to vote, getting rural America to come out and vote. That's some of these key demographics that they're not tapping into right now or seeing is where they need to be targeting their efforts, less so on, maybe endorsing, but maybe more so talking to their constituents and reminding them why they should be in this job in the first place.
Maura Gillespie, thank you so much for your time and your analysis. Have an awesome day.
Thanks, Maura.